All right, everyone. Welcome to our July community call. My name is Michelle. I'm the community liaison for the Zeek project. I joined the team back in April. I'm really excited to be with everyone for another round of updates to keep everyone informed about what's happening in the world of Zeek. Nothing Nothing out of the ordinary this month in terms of agenda. We'll kind of do the usual rounds. We'll be hearing some LT updates, some project updates, and then some subgroup training news, and then I'll kind of jump in at the end with some community reminders, talking about what I've been seeing in the survey and some other good stuff. So. Um, we'll hopefully have some time at the end if anyone has any questions or any discussion topics they want to bring up. But with that, I will ask Johanna if you have any LT updates to share.
Sure. There are a couple of small updates. So the main thing that the LT has talked about in the last month is the Public Benefits Corporation, which has been stuck for a while now. To give a short recap, so the Zeek project has been working on forming a Public Benefits Corporation that will hold the trademarks for Zeek mostly for quite a while. This is currently a bit stuck on us needing legal help to really finalize the setup and getting that legal help cheaply. And for more details, in case anyone cares, currently the Zeek trademarks are still held by the International Computer Science Institute, which is the academic institution that the Zeek project was historically headquartered at. And it looks like there will be some forward movement, and we will actually hopefully get this done within the next couple of months to a point where the trademarks will move over into that independent entity. Apart from that, most of the things that the LT talked about are things that Michelle was involved in, and we will probably hear about later. So we talked a little bit about the survey, about the Slack cleanup, and about the blog. But that kind of was it, I think. And in case you're interested in what the Zeek LT is doing, we post public meeting minutes a couple of weeks after each meeting onto community.zeek.org. There's a category LT meeting minutes and meeting notes, and you can look in there if you're interested.
Wonderful. I'll be sure, I think I'll start linking in the YouTube description, a link to those meeting notes as well, so they're easy for people to find who are watching the recording. So that's a good thing to make note of. Thank you, Johanna. All right, so some development updates, project news. Christian is on vacation this week, so Tim volunteered to share some updates on the open source team's end.
Things are moving smoothly towards the 8.0 release. We are currently looking at probably the middle to late August timeframe for 8.0 to come out. Some things that have happened recently. The cluster backend got some updates for telemetry. So if you are using Prometheus to scrape telemetry from Zeek, that is now supported. Storage is getting telemetry soon. Evan made some changes to the Redis analyzer to support the newer version of. Actually, I think the Redis analyzer is brand new for 8.0. So we had an analyzer for Redis traffic for 8.0. It got some improvements in the last couple of days for the newer versions of the Redis API. That's about it for big stuff in the last week or two. Like I said, we're kind of targeting probably the middle of August for an 8.0 release, and it seems like it's moving towards that nicely.
Great. Thank you, Tim. Plenty more to come on the Zeek 8.0 front. I'm excited to also try some new things in terms of when we launch and bringing some really interesting content, maybe videos or blogs, as we put that out into the world. So super excited about that. Fatima, do you have any updates on your end, subgroups or training?
Not much, but just a quick general reminder to the community that we will have our Zeek trainings hosted at NSF Cybersecurity Summit this year in UCAR and NCAR facility in Boulder, Colorado. The dates are October 28th to 23rd. And along the same lines, they have CFP open till 7th of July. So if people are interested, they can submit the CFPs to be considered for either plenary talks or workshops or trainings. And yeah, and then look forward to the announcements on the registration for the same. That might come in a couple of months. And again, we will remind you for registering for the trainings at the summit. It will not be recorded, so it will only be in person. So if you guys are looking forward for having Introduction to Zeek or advanced Zeek trainings hands-on, then that is the event that we mostly do those kind of trainings at. So yeah, we will keep you guys posted regarding the registration and as we get closer. And I'm looking forward to everyone to see in Boulder, Colorado this year. So, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out regarding the same.
Excellent. I've also started kind of spreading the word about the summit on the Zeek social pages. So definitely keep an eye out for those announcements, and we'll keep we'll keep everyone in the loop about updates and other important information. Great. So I wanted to take a few minutes and talk a little bit about the community survey that we launched last week. We have, as of this morning, 43 responses, which I'm really excited about. I'm hoping to, my goal is 150. We're going to see how close we can get to that goal. And I do want to thank everyone who's taken the time to fill out that survey so far. So I just wanted to kind of share a couple of slides of a reminder of kind of why we're running this survey, what we're seeing so far, and then once the survey wraps up, what I'm thinking about in terms of next steps. So I'm going to take a minute and share my screen. All right, Jim, can I get a thumbs up if you can see my slides? Beautiful. All right. So the Zeek Project Survey 2025. I know we get asked to give feedback about products that we use quite often. I understand that survey fatigue can be very real, but I wanted to be very transparent here with everyone about kind of why I decided that now is a time to survey the community. And really wanted to make sure that we all know that this isn't just going to be a checkbox activity to say that we did it, send out a blog post, and then continue. I am still quite new, I feel, to the open source world. I'm still learning every day about the Zeek project and what we do. And as I learn and kind of get settled into this community role, I really want to make sure that I am taking everyone's thoughts and ideas and feedback into account as I begin to shape this future community strategy to ensure that we're really doing stuff that's relevant and important and interesting to everyone, okay? We really want to make sure that Zeek runs, it's the best version of Zeek that we can do. And there's a lot of information and a lot of different topics that we're gathering in this survey. But things that are particularly interesting to me, content. I want to know what kind of content would actually help you use Zeek What would be interesting to you? Do we need better documentation? Do we want more tutorials, more training materials? The more specific that people get here with what they need, the better that we can target these efforts and really put our energy towards the right initiatives. I'm also really interested in understanding how the community might want to contribute to this project, if at all. I've had lots of one-on-one conversations with community members, and some say that they're interested in contributing, but maybe they don't know where to start. Other people say, I'm not interested. I don't have the time. I don't have the bandwidth. I just use Zeek for work, and that's that. Anything in that spectrum is quite all right. But for those who do want to contribute and are interested, I really do want to know, how might people want to contribute? So that way our team can kind of help those people learn and get up to speed. And that way we kind of have more input, more voices into this project. So that could mean, developing packages, writing blog posts, being guest speakers, sharing how they use Zeek in the real world. There's a lot of different things that we can do there. And knowing this really will help us figure out how to support those contributors better. We also want to know where people are getting stuck. Is it a really steep learning curve? Is it the tooling? Giving some honest feedback there can really help us target those barriers and improve them to make it a better experience for everyone. And finally, this will kind of be a team effort, but really wanting people's input on what we should prioritize for the future iterations of Zeek. Whether that's specific features, resources, bringing back in-person events, which is something that I'm very passionate about. Maybe it's something else entirely that we're not even thinking of. I will speak for the team and say that we really want these decisions to not just be informed by us, but the people who are also using Zeek. So the bottom line really is the more responses we get, the clearer this picture becomes of what Zeek will be. And the feedback of the users, the community, no matter how you use Zeek, it'll really help us decide, what to build, what to fix, and what to focus on next. So I'll be sure to continue sharing the links to the survey. I'll include it in the description for this recording when I post it on YouTube. And if you haven't yet, please consider just filling it out. It will only take about 10 minutes, and it will really help our team in kind of shaping where we go from here. Whoops. Got too excited. So without giving too much away, just wanted to share kind of what I'm seeing so far from our responses. And I'm trying to kind of tie this back to the goals that I listed on this slide here. So first, when it comes to content, we're seeing a strong interest in kind of getting started documentation, more real world use cases, kind of understanding how other people are using Zeek in their day-to-day. And also having those clearer pathways to contribution, whether that is tutorials or how-to documentation. People are really interested in contributing, and they just kind of need a little guidance on how to do that. So these are the kinds of resources that will help people ramp up quickly and hopefully, stay engaged, stay interested, keep learning, building your skills, and growing in the Zeek community. Second, where people want to help. So people have so far said that they're most interested in working on packages, contributing to blog posts, sharing their own personal use cases, and even some folks have expressed interest in, contributing to the development of the project itself, which is really exciting. I think kind of across the board, it's been really great to see the level of enthusiasm across the board. There's a lot of different people who want to participate in different ways, and I think down the line that will make for a really interesting and useful project. When it comes to blockers, a lot of the new users have said that installation and getting started is a consistent challenge for people who want to contribute, but they don't know how. Of course, time and bandwidth is something that's on everyone's mind. And I do think that both of these things, with a little bit of time and iteration, we can, slowly work towards lowering that barrier to make installation much smoother, and also to help people start contributing more quickly and easily. So that's something that I'm very excited about working on with the team. And last thing, I added this question at the last minute before sending the survey out, but outside of Zeek, I'm kind of curious about what other topics are on people's minds in the world of security. And there haven't been any specific trends. Everyone's kind of coming from a different place, and I think it's cool to just see the different interests that the community has outside of Zeek. So encrypted traffic analysis, threat detection. A couple of people mentioned AI integration, of course. So there's a long list of different topics and themes, and I do feel like outside of just Zeek specific, videos and guides and documentation, I think that some of these additional topics could be fun to explore as we build out, different types of content or events, discussions. So I think that there's a lot of fun stuff that we could do there. So that's just a quick snapshot of what we're seeing so far. I'm hoping to get a lot more responses and get that fuller picture. All right, my last slide here, talking about what's next. So the last day to complete the survey will be July 17th. So just about 2 more weeks. If you haven't taken it yet, now is the time. After the survey closes, I will be digging through each and every piece of feedback and really using that feedback to build out a prioritized list of actions for myself, for the leadership team, for the Zeek open source team. And once that is ready, I will be sure to, for the sake of transparency with everyone, to kind of share the results and let people know what our priorities will be. So that way everyone can kind of know and understand what we're focusing on next. And if you are someone who mentioned that you're interested in contributing, wanted to help out in some way, I'll definitely be working on that outreach and getting people involved and maybe putting some project groups together to make it more of a communal effort for whatever people are most interested in doing. And lastly, of course, I'm positive that this won't be kind of a one-time exercise. I am personally committed to kind of keeping the dialogue open here, and really ensuring that we're getting community input on the work that we're doing so we can continue shaping Zeek to meet everyone's needs. So, again, the more responses that we get, the better and more relevant and useful the support and the improvements to Zeek will be in the future. So again, if you haven't yet, fill out the survey. You have till July 17th. I'm really excited to kind of dig into everyone's feedback. It's been great to see folks responding so positively so far. And I'll be looking forward to kind of putting all this documentation together and sharing it out and giving people lots of new projects and tasks to work on. So thank you, everyone. That's it from the community side of things. I'm going to stop sharing this. Does anyone have any questions about either that, the survey, or maybe any of the other topics that we had covered?
Do you have any information on how or why people want to contribute to Zeek and what they would want to contribute more of?
I do. So we have questions in the survey that first ask, like, are you interested in contributing? If so, what? What's holding you back from contributing? I think that will kind of help us understand how to get people ramped up and get people started. I don't have any specific answers off the top of my head. I kind of just did a quick skim of the results. And I think that once we get all the responses and close the survey, I'll be able to kind of more specifically answer that question. Thanks, Evan. All right. Anything else? Great. We can wrap up this month's community call then. I'll be sure to share some updates in the newsletter that's going out tomorrow. We'll upload the recording onto YouTube with some of the links to topics that we discussed. And our next call, I'll pull up my calendar. Next call will be August 6th, first Wednesday of the month. So hope to see you all there. Thanks so much, everyone.